right, so she runs. So I decided not to do the typical YouTuber, will it start, and crank this thing 1,000 times while you guys watch and let me try to figure it out and why it's not running and all this. So I did all that behind the scenes. There was only a few things I had to do in the ECU. I had to make a few changes since we're running, I'm not gonna really show you in the ECU, but since we're running a GE, okay, and I'm using a VVTi gear for the crank pickup, okay, which is 36 tooth with 2 missing, or 32 and 2 missing, I forget. But anyway, so I had to make a little change in the computer for that, and the cam pickup is 1. There's only 1 pickup on the cam, whereas on a VVTi there's 3. So I had to change that as well, and then change the ignition start angle where it starts. But anyway, I did that yesterday. Took me about, I don't know, an hour or two, just kind of going on Facebook and looking at other people's you know, setups with this type of deal here with the VVTi gear. Because normally like a GE or a GTE, I think a GTE has it, it's like a 12 tooth gear instead of the 32 with 2 missing. So yeah, I got a lot done. I mean, I haven't been videotaping. We got the valve covers in. That was one of the main things I was waiting for to get this thing started. These valve covers are absolutely beautiful. These are from SMS CNC is the company. They sent me a sticker. I'll show you guys the sticker. Put it on my welding helmet. It's a pretty cool sticker. But I just want to show you their logo in case you all wanted to go look them up, okay? They're actually in Qatar, okay, over in the Middle East. But yeah, they bolted right on. The only thing is that they send it with a cover, okay, a really nice cover that says, you know, it says 2JZ on it, obviously. I mean, it's beautifully machined. It's got all the hardware, and that goes, you know, on top. But obviously, since we're running the R8 coils, I can't use it. But I plan on, you know, in the future going with some different coils. I was thinking of doing some coils that I can mount in the cowl. I've seen somebody else do that before, and it looks pretty slick. And what you do is you just have the plug wires coming out here, you know, with a grommet, and then I can go underneath this here. You know, I can go through here or through the side or whatever, and that'll look pretty slick. But for now, I mean, I'll use it like this for now. And yeah, so I ran it a little bit yesterday, just ran it just now. I got this temporary oil fitting here. I have a 90 coming, it just hasn't come in yet. So what I did was, this is actually my mechanical oil pressure gauge. Okay, I just pulled it out of the dash and ran it over to the turbo, because yesterday I started it with no oil to the turbo, and I don't want to run it that long like that. I mean, you can, I mean, as long as you're only running it for maybe 10 or 15 seconds, but I wanted to get some oil to it, get the drain to it and all that. But yeah, so this is what the exhaust is going to look like. I'm gonna just cut holes in the hood, and yeah, probably gonna have to trim this. That's going to be a little high, as you can see. I mean, the hood should be here, and so I'm gonna have to trim that. I'll just cut it off like in this area, cut a hole in the hood, and yeah, and I'll probably run the wastegate right here. I could, you know, I could run this along this pipe and come out together, but honestly, I'm thinking of just running it right there, just dumping it right here, so I'm not adding all this extra weight. I mean, and I have to order some more tubing. This is not going to be enough to get it to run all the way up and match that pipe. So yeah, I think I might just dump it right there, put another small hole here and a bigger hole there. So keep in mind, guys, this is all kind of a temporary setup. What I did was I took the old downpipe and I just kind of like hacked it up, made a few pie cuts, added in here so I can get it up over this tube here, but also keep it low enough so that it doesn't hit the hood when the hood closes, because the hood's going to be about right here. So I was trying to do a few things there, and it came out looking kind of funky. I mean, I posted it on Facebook and I was getting some good laughs that it's an up, down, up pipe. So, but it works. I mean, it's, you know, like I said, once we change turbos, we got to do a whole different pipe anyway. Most likely a new turbo, I'm going to do like a 4-inch, whereas this here is 3-inch. So yeah, I mean, that little bit right there, just running it, it didn't overheat or anything like that. I mean, this fan's moving a ton of air and was keeping it cool. So, and the thing I like is that since it's on a mechanical pump, I got the ECU set up to where it automatically kicks on. Let me see if I can go through some of the settings here with you guys. Yeah, so in the ECU, I can set up, you know, different settings, and I have it set to come on at a certain coolant temp. So like around 50 degrees Celsius, it comes on. And the pump and the fan, they're hooked together. So whenever one comes on, the other one comes on too. So like before with a mechanical pump, you know, when you're sitting in the staging lanes, I can't cool it. All you can do is run the fan. But now, I can just run the pump and the cooling fan, and this thing cools down really fast. Okay, so it went from, I had it around 60 degrees Celsius and I shut it off, and I ran the pump and the fan for about 5 minutes, and it cooled all the way down to like 40 C. So 20 degrees Celsius, it cooled in 5 minutes. So that kind of answers my question a little bit of whether that radiator is going to work or not. Obviously, I'm not going to be street driving this. That wouldn't be a possibility because it does warm up pretty quick. Okay, but I'm really gaining a lot of advantage with the how light it is, the extra room I gain, and all that. So anyway, another thing is that I'm having a little bit of issue, and this is pretty common when you run big old injectors. You know, they're 2200 cc injectors. Okay, and you run those big injectors, you're gonna have a hard time getting it to idle. Okay, so you have to turn your idle up. I'm gonna be idling this thing around 1200 RPMs, and even then I'm down in the 1 millisecond pulse width range. So those big injectors, they really don't like to be pulsed that low because it's dumping a lot of fuel and it kind of oscillates a little bit. So your idle, the idle's never happy because even though the pulse width is short, it's dumping a lot of fuel still. And then it tries to correct it, and then it gets in this like oscillation cycle to where it just won't idle, okay? And this is pretty common. I've done some research on big injectors, and people always have a hard time getting them to idle. But the way around that is just turn the idle up, you know, get it to idle around 1200 RPMs or whatever. And if I can get it to idle right around there, I'll be happy. But anyway, yeah, I mean, what else have I done? I still haven't got the nitroselenide hooked up. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I don't know if I may plumb it over in this area. I'm not sure. Just because there's really no good options of running it like this, you know. Even if I get a 90, it's still gonna be way up in here. So I don't know, maybe I'll run it over here and then just leave this block off plate the way it is. But so anyway, what we got to do is finish up the intercooler piping. That's the last thing here. So I just got to get it from there to there, and we're pretty much done. I mean, there's really, I spent a lot of time tidying up the wiring. Keep in mind, this is a stock wiring harness. This is from a 1J, okay? So this is a stock wiring harness from whatever year that is. I don't know, 2002 or whatever. And I just hacked it up and, you know, did it my own way. So, you know, I had the VVTi still in here, so I deloomed the whole thing and pulled out the wires I didn't need, okay? And then another thing was I moved all these solenoids and everything that was here just because of the heat issue. So all that's been relocated back here. This is the fan relay. Actually, it's the fan and the water pump relay. And then we have the noise suppressor there. You know, just basically getting it away from the heat. And yeah, got a lot of room over here. I mean, this is a huge area nice and far away from the firewall and the transmission and all that. So, but yeah, and other than that, it runs good. I mean, you know, I checked the oil on it. There's no like particles or anything. I mean, the oil looks crystal clear. You know, obviously, I'm gonna change the oil within, you know, the next time I run it. I'm gonna run it probably 15 minutes. I think that's what GSC recommends. And then you change the oil and all that. And I'll probably pull the cam covers off, check the cams, make sure everything's looking good, and you know, no issues there. But so another thing I got was a drive shaft loop that I need to install. Probably won't make a video on that because you know, that's super boring. And yeah, I mean, not much left to do. It's going to be interesting tuning it. It feels really snappy, I can tell you that, and it's much louder. I can tell the compression. You know, you can really hear the compression in the motor, much louder than the other one. So yeah, I'm excited to get this thing to the track, maybe even to the dyno. I don't know. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you that it runs and, you know, the progress we made. Like I said, still some things to tidy up. I got to wait for the new oil line so it doesn't look like that. Most likely I'll run it, I don't know, over here, straight to this hose and then zip tie it around. And I'm coming off of that oil port right there. So I have a splitter coming as well. So I'll be able to run my mechanical oil pressure gauge and then also feed the turbo as well. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you that it starts, it runs. I have been posting a little bit more stuff like on Instagram and stuff like that. You could check me out there. It's at the Hated 1J. And yeah, it's just easier for me, you know, instead of making these long videos and all that, I just post pictures and some, you know, other things there. So anyway, that's gonna do it. Check y'all later.